Hello, 8th graders. Welcome to day 3, and an exciting thing happened today. I got something in the mail from the United States Census Bureau. So let's go inside and take a look. So I got a letter from the Census Bureau, and it gave me a code. And that code I put into the computer, and it sent me to a survey where I just told them about the people living in our household, that we have 5 people living here. It was short and sweet and easy, but why I want to share this with you is they list the reasons right here why we take a census every 10 years, and it's all the stuff we've talked about in class this year, so it's so exciting. First of all, they need to know how many people there are so they can direct billions of dollars in federal funds to local communities for schools, roads, and other public services. So the more population, the more kids that you have, the more schools that you're going to need. So that's going to dictate federal funds. It's also going to help your community prepare to meet transportation and emergency readiness needs. Do we need more fire stations or police stations? Helps people plan. And then this is the one that we've talked about most recently. It determines the number of seats each state has in the U.S. House of Representatives and your political representation at all levels of government. So they'll compare these numbers with 10 years ago and shift seats as necessary in the House. So exciting things. Maybe you can ask your parents if they've gotten something in the mail from the Census Bureau. One announcement again, it's one that I've made every day, and that is the fact that you're going to need a stamp on Friday. I have mentioned before, but maybe some of you missed it, that we will be writing letters to the residents at the Inn at Westport. It's the nursing home that we support through Generation Connection. And because of COVID-19, they're not receiving visitors there, and they're kind of quarantined even to their room. So they don't even get much socialization with other residents. So it would be a great way for us to serve our community in response to the request of our mayor to serve our community, but also in response to God's calling on us to be citizens of His kingdom and to love and serve those around us. So on Friday, I'll give you much more detail on Friday, but just to give you a heads up, I have you paired with a member from a resident from the Inn at Westport. So for example, Allie will be writing to Wilson, all right? And Cade will be writing to Janine, and Luke Fonder to Dwayne, and Eli Glasser to Fred. So you're going to be lined up specifically with somebody. I'm going to give you a form in which to use to follow. So I'll give you some more directions with that. But I just wanted to kind of remind you that you should be getting a stamp because we're going to do our best to serve those around us. If you're having a hard time tracking down a stamp, please email me and let me know. So I don't want to make it a burden on you either, but I do want us to look for ways to serve the people around us. Okay, on to today's task. When you click on your to-do list for today, you will see that we are making a graphic, okay? And we're going to make a graphic of Washington's first cabinet. Remember, Washington did 2 big things, 2 precedents that he set. He appointed a cabinet, and he set up the federal court system. So the 2 C's is what he did kind of right off the bat. And those are things that we have to get emblazed in our brains when it comes test time. So I thought we would make a visual to help you with that. You are going to use a Google Drawing, and you're just going to make a visual of his first cabinet and his Supreme Court, his first Supreme Court Chief Justice appointee. Everything you need to know, guys, is on page 247 and 248. I'm going to repeat that. Everything you need to know is on page 247 and 248. So when you open up your drawing, you are going to, in some way, divide it into 4s, okay? So in any way that you want to do it, you're going to divide it into 4s. You guys are so much more tech savvy and artistically creative than I am, but in some ways, and you could use lines or arrows or even just shapes themselves, but whatever you want to do, create 4 spaces on here, okay? Then once you've done that, the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to, for each section, you're going to put the cabinet member's name, their position. So, for example, the Secretary of the Treasury, and then a brief description of their duty. What does the Secretary of Treasury do? Again, that's right in the book. It's just a short phrase. There's not a ton of information. And then the one thing that you can use Google for is to find a picture of that person, okay? So the 3 cabinet members, and then do that same thing for the Chief Justice. When you are done, make sure your graphic has a title somewhere on it, and take a little time to add some interest with fonts and colors and backgrounds. We want to produce good things, okay? Things that look like 8th grade historians have produced them, all right? Make sure we're hitting submit, folks. Many of you are forgetting to hit submit even though your assignment is done. That just helps me with some organization, so that is important. When you are done with that, I'm bringing you to March 24, CNN 10, and I just want you to watch the first story. It is about 4 minutes long. What's exciting about that is that story is about COVID-19, but it's about things that we're talking about right now. The role of the national bank, and then that whole distribution of power. State versus federal government. Who has the power to do what in this situation? So it's so exciting when the stuff that we're talking about is what's going on around us in the news. So you can go ahead and watch that. If you have any questions, you know what to do. Text, email, or hit me up at the Google Meet. Otherwise, have a great day. Produce great work. Have fun.